Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Sunday. You know what that means, a Sunday sermon, right? Today is August 17th of 2025. You have to have downtime. I can't express that enough. When you're younger, you need less of it, right? But as we get older, it's as if not the most important thing. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekend. You're getting a double trouble. You got a video yesterday, and you're getting another one today on Sunday. Nobody is stress free. Let me point that out to you first. And if you don't take care of stressors, what ends up happening is they compile and they compound. And next thing you know, you're building up, right? And I've tried to do as I say and not as I do. Usually I just push through it and the stress keeps adding up, right? And stuff that would de-stress me, I have a tendency of to put it off for another day. And I said I wouldn't do that when I lay in the hospital bed. But yet I'm finding myself already going back to my old traits. And that is, instead of going and doing something that recharges your battery, you're still working on stuff that's draining your battery. And the other thing that I tell people is to take a look at your stressors, okay? And if there's something you can do about that stressor right now, do it. If not, why are you worried about it? And I was once told by a wise man many years ago, is a lot of times that we're carrying stress that we weren't meant to carry, that God carries for us. Sometimes you just have to say enough and put it up to Him or a higher power, whatever you want to call it. But if you feel that you're the only one there that can handle that stress and handle that load, it's going to drag you down. It's going to be like dragging around weights behind you. And you first start out pretty good pace, right? But as the day progresses, what happens? You start slowing down, your legs start cramping because you're pulling this weight every place you go. So how can we avoid getting in this in the first place? First, you need to define and figure out what are the stressors that are on your plate right now. What are the ones that require the most attention? And is there anything you can do about it this minute? Okay? If it's something that you can do, why not just do it and get it out of your way? Really. Just letting it sit there and fester is not good for you or anybody around you. And you also have to understand there's good stress, bad stress, but they're all stress. Good stress may be that the grandkids are coming over for a visit, spend the day, barbecue and this and that. But you're still stressed. You're stressing because you want everything to go according to plan. And you're excited that they're coming. For most of us, that's a good stress, but it's still stress. For some of us, like grandmas, they love to see the grandkids, and that puts back into their battery. It recharges. So one stress to me could be a battery charger for you that will charge your batteries back up. See, it's you. Everyone is unique, okay? There's nobody else on earth like you. Thank God, right? Because there's only one of me. So in saying that, we're going to handle stress differently. And certain stuff that would stress me is a battery charger for you, and stuff that stresses you is a battery charger for me. What I've been trying to do is yesterday we went and spent 4 hours on the water fishing. I caught one smallmouth bass, and my son had quite a few rolls on a weedless frog. I don't care if I would have caught anything. It was the act of being in the boat with the boys out fishing. That's a battery recharger. Even though when I got in, I did some other things. I took a load of garbage to the dump, hauled a bunch of logs to a neighbor, went to visit my wife. By the time I got home, I didn't even bother with supper last night. It was hot. I just took my meds and went to bed a little after 5. But it was a good tired. You know, it isn't that tired from doing nothing all day long. I was busy. And that's what happens in life is we become too busy and we don't pay attention to our bodies when it's trying to tell us you need to slow down. You need to wake up and smell the coffee, right? What is it that brings you the most when it comes to recharging your battery? And like I say, for each of us, it's going to be different. But you need to be able to look at your stressors, identify your stressors. Is there anything you can do about it? If there is, then do something about it. If not, stop worrying about it. Let God worry about that stuff that you have no control over, and just worry about the stuff that you have going on your plate today. Because what I can tell you right now is the mindset you have in the morning is going to change throughout the day, okay? And if you've carried those stressors over from yesterday, which is a wasted day if there's nothing you can do about it, if you spend all day long today on those stressors, that's another day you could be out enjoying life and what it provides you. I'm not sure what the right answer is, even for myself, of how to get a better handle on the stresses that are in my life. You know, I have everything from trying to figure out what to do with my wife, because everybody is talking nursing home, and one of the offshoots of the surgery is my cognitive, and that is I have to have my daughter-in-law do my medications for the month. And then just recently I found out that I don't have the ability to sit down and fill out forms. I didn't know that was going to be an issue, but it somehow sprung up, right? And it started when they wanted me to fill out an application for my wife to get medical assistance. And I tried, and I couldn't. And the harder I tried, the worse it got. So I finally had to tell them, look, I can't do this. It's not that I don't want to do this. It's that I'm not stupid, but this is very difficult for me. And so 2 of them sat down with me and went through the form. But then as I got home, I thought of other stuff that I forgot. Because in order to get medical assistance, you have to put down everything that's registered, joint checking accounts. If you got a business, all this stuff plays into what you need to provide to see whether you qualify. And I started getting very overwhelmed because I kept forgetting things that need to be on there. And they submitted the application with it being incomplete. But I was able to get hold of the case manager that was going to be looking at her application. And she said, look, I'm going to send it back to you. Put the necessary things on it before I even start. Don't omit anything. That if we find it and you don't have it on that sheet, that's going to be a problem. But like I explained to her that I can't do it. I've been writing stuff down, but I can't do it. And then at cardiac rehab, I graduated from cardiac rehab, and they graduated me early, which is fine, because it was costing me right around $300 a month just copay to go to rehab. With them graduating me early and putting me over to phase 3, meant it went from $300 down to $39. I got the same level of care, same day, same equipment, same time, same everything. But in order to graduate, you had to fill out a form on your mental health status and 2 pages on nutrition. Took me 20 minutes to get through the mental health of 10 or 12 questions. Then came the 2-pager, and a lot of them had 5 or 6 choices. And I could feel Mia and Crystal staring at me, my rehab specialist. And then finally, Crystal started pacing, and I noticed that, and it was causing me to become more anxious. And I finally looked up to Mia, and I said, Mia, I can't do this. It's not that I don't want to, it's just that I can't. And my workout partner, Gwyneth, is 83. She was in earshot of me saying that. And when I didn't think I had any options other than to admit defeat, the two of them got together, and instead of making it a multiple choice, they read the question in a way that I could answer it. And they did the sheet for me. It's hard to admit at 62 years old that you can't do something that a 5th grader could do. So I'm finding out what my limitations are, but there's stressors all in the same. That's what I'm getting at, is even though I can identify where my stress is coming from, sometimes there's just nothing I can do about it. I'm not used to asking other people for help, and probably neither are you. I don't know if this is God's plan to have to rely on other people. I know that it's not easy. And to me, it's embarrassing, because it's like, what do you mean you can't do that? Prior to the surgery, I'd have had that knocked out in a minute. But I'm being told that you can't look at what you lost. You're still here. But at what capacity? Can I still think? Can I still be involved with the family? Can I still do most things? Yes. The physical side of me has come along quite a ways. It's the mental and cognitive that are lagging behind, that I'm seeing, if anything, are getting worse. And hopefully it's not like dementia or Alzheimer's, because I never had any problem with it before. So I'm trying to figure out ways to do workarounds. And the only workaround when it came to paperwork is to ask somebody else for help. The only way to get my medications set the way they're supposed to is to ask for help. And I don't want to come across as a needy person, but I also have to accept my shortcomings. And when it comes to your meds, you need to have them in the right day, right morning, right night, everything else. You can't screw around with them. Because I'll be honest with you, there's a couple of them in there that could kill you if you took too many of them. Or not enough in my case, too. What are the stressors that are on your plate today? Can you identify them? That's half the battle. If you can identify them, you're doing well. Sometimes we feel stressed and there's nothing going on. And we can't figure out. We start pointing at all these other things, saying that's got to be it, this got to be it, that's got to be it. One of the things that I've learned to accept is there's going to be days where we're anxious, where we're stressed, It's just a body emotion. And there's nothing there that's causing it. It just takes place. It's your body just reflecting, I guess. Sometimes you have to start with the basics of I'm still alive and I'm breathing. And then start building on it. I was able to go fishing yesterday. I was able to get first cut hay done and just need to get it back. Instead of looking at, I have to ask for help. I've got 2 tractors broke down. I've got this and that and everything else that I'm trying to fix so that I can get the bales back to the house. You know, if I focus on the things that aren't going right instead of the things that are, that caused you to become overwhelmed, is what I'm getting at. In the comments, let me know how you do it. Maybe I can learn from you guys as well. That how do you guys handle stress? Amos, I know that you have a way of methodically sorting through it and then seeing what's BS and getting rid of it and then moving forward. Jason, you must be the same way. Ed, you're more like me. Sorry. That sometimes we can identify, but as you told me, Ed, you're living alone now. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You go fish when you want to go fish. Sometimes you don't see people for days on end. And honestly, that sounds like one hell of a place that I'd love to visit. Nobody is stress-free. The only ones that probably are stress-free are the narcissistic people that could give a rat's ass about everybody else. And they're stuck on themselves. I'm just the opposite, so identify your stressors, figure out what you can do. If there's something you can do about it, do it. If not, don't worry about it. Let God carry it and move forward. And on that note, you guys have a great Sunday. I've got my son coming over, my grandson coming over. They're going to fix the brakes on the Ford Dually and then do an oil change on the new Dodge because I've already got over 5,000 miles on that just in a month and a half. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday.